Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. And I'm a little late to this party, okay? I'm a little bit late to the party. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Everything's out there now. But a few days ago, at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors 23, Will Ospreay and Ricochet had a match that literally everybody's talking about. Everybody has an opinion. Old wrestlers, new wrestlers. Is it too much? Is it ruining the business? Is this what's wrong with wrestling? Is this what's right with wrestling? Well, you know, I have a take on it very simply. There is no one correct way to have a wrestling match. There's no one correct way to entertain. There is no one correct way to be a sports entertainer. Now, this match, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's not for me. I thought it was a little too much. I did. I thought it was a tad too much. But that is in no way critical because it's the most athletic thing I've ever seen anybody do ever. In the history of ever. It's the most athletic match in the history of wrestling. It's 22 minutes of sheer high-octane acrobatics, stunts that you will never see anywhere else. And here's why it's not a problem. This is why it's not an issue. It's not killing the business. It's not what's wrong with wrestling. That's ridiculous. Here's why. I don't think you can fully appreciate just how rare something like this is. This is not something that any two guys could just choose to do. Two very unique individuals. Ricochet, that everybody knew about. Will Ospreay, some people know about him, some people don't. Those two are very special, and they have a chemistry that they're able to pull something like this off. This is not something that any two gymnasts could just go in there and do and make look good. Any two gymnasts that, like something like Vader and stuff, people have said, you put any two acrobats in there and they could get the same match. And I don't agree with that. I think that, yes, it had an action movie fight feel. However, there is a chemistry that was between these two guys that it's hard to replicate. And even for a second time, the same type of match, I guarantee you next time these two fight each other, there will be some of the same spots because of the high pops, but there will be a different match because that's what these two guys do. If you don't know Ricochet, if this was just out of nowhere, two guys that nobody knew about, there was no body of work to kind of point to and have something to compare against, maybe there'd be a little bit more damning here. But the fact is, Ricochet has built a huge body of work in multiple different organizations, and the guy works several different styles of matches. Yes, he is one of the most, if not the most athletic man I've ever seen in wrestling. No question about it. But he also is able to wrestle a very physical style. He knows multiple different types of psychology and styles and match disciplines. I mean, the guy is complete. He's full, well-rounded. The only thing that you can really go, if you want to be a purist, a wrestling purist, and you really want to get into like ring psychology and match psychology and all that, I guess you can make the argument, and I think that it is kind of fair, that there was no match psychology here because it was just full adrenaline. There was really no selling, and it's unrealistic in the sense that nobody's getting up from the type of moves that these guys were hitting on each other. I think that's the one criticism that I think might be fair if some people want to make. It's certainly not damaging the business for this reason only, because people are talking about it. People are talking about this match. More people are talking about this match than they did probably WrestleMania. I'm not even kidding. The people are all over this match. It is getting headlines in mainstream media. It's getting headlines all over social media. It's just everywhere. People are talking about this match. There are gifts everywhere. It's incredible what they did. But my wife, who's a casual, who's sitting right next to me right now, she's a casual fan who borders on hardcore tendencies with certain guys. I showed her the highlights of the match, and while she said breathtaking, because it is, she also said it's a stunt movie, that's what you basically thought of it, right?
Yeah, it's like a gymnast show off.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's a casual person's reaction to it because, yes, we know that wrestling is premeditated and predetermined and all that, and part of the charm and beautiful aspect of wrestling is taking you out of that element. This match kind of says, hey, this is a circus act. And that is a little bit of a problem, which if it happened on a nightly basis and everybody was doing it, sure. The wrestling industry that we've all known would certainly change, would certainly be different, and maybe be over. Absolutely. But this is rare. This is so rare because of the athletes involved, and they're able to do many other things other than that. Now, look, I'm not even going to touch on the craziness, this whole artist standpoint that Ricochet is trying to, telling Vader to shut up, basically, because we're artists and we're expressing art. No, look. If you are in there because you're an artist and you're missing the point of what you're doing. You are there for the fans. Your whole agenda is there to entertain the fans in any way that you can. Now, you can't make it completely about your art. It's so pretentious and so douchey. But there is an element of truth to it. There is an element of actuality. And I get that, and that's completely fine. But here's the thing. This match was insane. It's one of the coolest athletic specimens I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. It doesn't even crack my top 20 in greatest matches I've ever seen. Now, how can I say that? Because I don't feel there was any other wrestling type match elements that made me really get invested in other than the holy shit factor. This match had holy shit factor all over it. But the fact that these guys were able to walk away in the manner that they were afterwards, it kind of took away from me. And that's just because I have that douchey wrestling purist inside of me. I can't help that. But that's not taking away anything from what these guys did. Incredible in-ring performance, but a very rare and special thing that I think should be applauded and should be put on a pedestal, but certainly not looked to be the new standard in wrestling. Not everybody can do this. Very few guys can. And that's probably a good thing. Too much of anything is too much. And like I said, there is no proper way to wrestle a match. You start talking about proper way to be a wrestler, now you're getting into Bret Hart fucking territory. They don't want to do that. But everybody has a comment on it. Everybody has an opinion. Now, I want to hear yours. What did you guys think of this match? Will Ospreay, Ricochet. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you're a wrestling fan, if you like wrestling, go check it out. Not if you're a real wrestling fan. None of that bullshit, because that's stupid. Doesn't exist. If you like wrestling and you like different styles and you want to open your mind to different avenues of thought within the confines of a wrestling ring, go check out this match and make your own damn determination. Don't just watch the highlights. Watch the entire match, because I think it's important to get the context of which the moves were made, just because you're going to want to have that information when you're talking to other people about it. Because let me tell you, you will be talking to other people about this match. When you go to work, you'll be wanting to talk about this incredible athletic display that you saw out of these two guys. So do yourselves a favor, check it out. It really is worth a watch. But all this talk about ruining the business or evolving the business is ridiculous, because it's just another way to wrestle. It's just another way to get over. And that is the key to wrestling. Get yourselves over. Go out there and get yourselves over. This match won't play in all arenas. Guarantee you that. It will not work everywhere. It just won't. It just won't. There are certain audiences that will not get it. And that's okay. That's the beauty of this industry. That is why wrestling has been around for as long as it has and will continue to be around, because there are so many ways to express yourself as not only a wrestler, but as a fan. So there you go. That's my take on it. Make sure you're checking out everything going on within the channel. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, to all my veterans out there. And today is the day to remember everybody you lost in combat, and or just anybody who's lost while ever wearing a uniform. Today's that day. 39 people I knew have lost their lives. 39 soldiers that I served with have lost their lives through different means that I know of. In the 15 years that I've been associated with the Army, 10 as an active member and almost 6 now as a retiree. So, today I raise a glass to all to everybody that I knew that died and the thousands that I didn't. So raise a glass, have a little appreciation, not just American soldiers either, anybody in combat, man. Service is one of the greatest things you can do in your life, whether it be serving a community, serving a nation, serving your county, whatever the case may be. Service is one of the greatest things you can do with your life. So thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Hope you dug the show. Make sure you check out everything that we do here. We do reviews of many, many different things. Baseball, wrestling. We do pop culture. Nerd and the Jerk comes back tomorrow night. We're now doing it bi-weekly. Me and Jake Link will be here tomorrow night talking about all kinds of crazy things. Make sure you're here live for that. And then tonight, right after Monday Night Raw, the epic Memorial Day Monday Night Raw, the return of John Cena. And many, many more things are going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to be a crazy show. And we'll be here right after to review it. Make sure you join us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Also, if you can't get enough of me and you want to hear me talk about other things, tonight I'll also be live, a very rare Monday appearance on In the Crease with Tommy C over at Schaffen the Point on YouTube, talking about hockey, the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll be there with Tommy C and Jack Millay. We're going to have a good time. So make sure you're there for that, kids. All right. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent,
Have talented friends.
that's right, have talented friends. Keep it copious, folks. Peace.